Good morning. Welcome to another day in the life. This is Glenn, as usual. Happy Thursday morning. Hope everybody's doing well. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's well. Just wanted to give my take on the No Kings protests versus the birthday of Donald Trump and his parade. It's really crazy that someone would really want to try to emulate the military force of these other third world countries in the form of their parades, showing their military might through, patrolling their tanks and missiles and soldiers, and the pomp and the circumstance of the whole thing. There was a whole lot of buildup leading to the parade, and at the same time, the No Kings protests were going on all across the country. There wasn't a high expected turnout for the protests that was supposed to be peaceful, and there was an expected number of 200 to 250,000 people that was supposed to show up for Trump's parade and birthday party, or birthday parade. And he just wanted to have the ultimate and the biggest flex by doing what Russia, North Korea, and other countries like that do when they show force through their military might by parading some of their weapons of destruction through the streets. The protests, I don't care what city they panned to, whether it was New York, whether it was San Diego, whether it was Los Angeles, Philadelphia, San Francisco, San Diego, I think I already said. The people turned out in numbers. There was even a smaller protest in the small town over from this one here in New Jersey. I'm over in Neptune, and down the street in Asbury Park here in New Jersey, they had a small protest as well. And from most reports, they've all been peaceful. The only time they haven't been peaceful is you'd have antagonizers that get dispersed into the midst of the protest goers and just try to start things, because Trump wants to have another ultimate flex of martial law if things get out of hand. He's pretty much against these protests anyway, because it's against his will and what he wants. Because in his mind, he's still thinking like a dictator, wanting to be a dictator. And it's not really going over as he planned. as well as he planned. But um, he's got the Republican Party doing this heavy lifting for him. He's got the Supreme Court doing heavy lifting for him. He has judges across the country doing his heavy lifting for him. And it's a concern that eventually this stuff is going to get normalized enough that everything that he's doing, he will succeed if we don't give him any kind of resistance. So that's partly what the protests are about: resistance and refusal to fall into a dictatorship. Now, all that build up for the military display on the roads of Washington, D.C., it was shamefully lacking. I don't think more than 10,000 people actually showed up. I mean, the amount of equipment that the United States, if you would have put all of the United States equipment together, their tanks, their trucks, jeeps, missile array, it will rival any of the countries that do these parades. But this was so half-assed that it wasn't properly planned. You sit there and you watch the Marines or the Army, whoever's walking. They're not even in the same step. I mean, they're dragging feet. They're not moving in the same flow. It's not in sync. It's sloppy. It's small, and it was quiet. So quiet that you can literally hear the tank squeak as it runs past the camera. So embarrassing. It was so embarrassing so much that Russia got a hold of a loop of that what was recorded, and they juxtaposed it next to recordings of North Korea and Russia and having their own parades. They're massive and they're in sync, and it has all the pomp and circumstance, and just beautiful. It just is. Then Trump's. It was pathetic. It was embarrassing. It was humiliating, and that's what our representation was. And then to look at his face as all this is going on, I don't know if he was sulking or if he was sleeping. He just looked pathetic, and everybody around him looked pathetic. You got people yawning and knowing damn well that this is not a good look. But you know what? We got to go through the hurt in order to get to where we need to go. So we're going to go through a period of embarrassment, a period of hurt, and a period of damaging our country before we get back to democracy, because I do believe we will eventually get back to democracy, because according to the numbers and the polls, the Republican Party is going to be in trouble come election time. They're going to lose a lot of seats. I don't think they expected this much of America to be out there in the streets. Now, I do have a question for all of you out in the streets, because black people stayed home. We're thrilled to see all the people out and protesting. But where was all this energy at election time? How many of you who decided to come out here and protest were also people who voted against your interests? All this could have been avoided if you just went ahead and voted blue like you were supposed to. I just need to get that point out. And this is the only time white people really come out. Once they're affected, then it's a problem. But as black people, we've always said that. I said nothing's going to move until it hits the white families. Once the white families start feeling the pinch, then all hell's going to break loose, because their numbers they supersede ours, because we only make up 13% of this country. When they speak, they will listen, but we'll see. We got to do better, America. This is not our best, and this is probably the lowest I can think of in my 59 years on this planet. I've never seen it this bad, as far as morale of our country, how embarrassing it looks, how humiliating it looks. I don't ever remember us looking this bad. We used to be the beacon of hope for every country, and now to see that we can be touched and dealt with this way, that we have so many right-wing zealots that are willing to give up the democracy, not realizing Trump doesn't give a shit about nobody. This is all about Trump. All he wants is the power. You heard him in a hidden mic moment where he said, "I want what Russia and Jong-un have. Their people bow and are at ease when they speak. That's what I want for America." You ain't gonna get that here in America. That's not what we're used to. Good luck with that one. I'm just praying that everybody comes to their senses and gets this right, because we can't afford to do this. I mean, people are fleeing this country left and right because they don't want any part of this. But I think over time, we will do what needs to be done to get this country back to where it needs to be. And we have to continue to be vigilant and continue to fight with purpose to try to save our democracy. And at some point, get all these people out of the Congress, in hopes that we could actually get someone in place who then we can come back and charge all these people with a crime. This is treasonous things that they're doing. I hope and pray that the switch can happen in 2026, where a good chunk of the Congress gets flipped over and it becomes Democratic majority in both the Senate and in the House. That's what we need. We got to get to 2026 and try to clean out Congress. We just have to. That's my 2 cents on that. Where do you guys stand on this? You have any comments, just leave them down below. If you like the content that's being created, just hit me with a like and subscribe to my channel so that it can grow. And the more that I learn about how to do these, how to improve these videos, it's going to get better. I still need to get a computer set up. I still need to get mics for the house. I still have to get all different types of things. And once I get all that stuff set up, the staging, the lighting, it'll be a better presentation. But for now, I'll use my phone and continue to give good content, and we'll see. Meantime, you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. Be safe. Let's continue to fight for our democracy in our country, for our country. We can't go down this rabbit hole and allow Trump and his cronies to win. So we just have to stay in the fight until he's out. Peace out. Until the next time.